Go. So we're talking about patience and working on not blowing things out of proportion now that we're in recovery. And I need to unmute you because I don't think I've done that yet. There we go. Unmute. Patience, not blowing things out of proportion now we're in recovery.
Hey, good morning, Alex. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you, man. I'm good. Thank
All
you.
right, good. I always like to hear that. And my name's Scott. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. And, I started my morning off the way I did yesterday. And that was, saying my prayer and, stretching out, doing a little exercise and just listening to the meeting. And I stayed sober yesterday. And so hopefully if I start my day off and practicing what was taught to me, that I get to have another clean day today. So patience, that's a good one. I always attribute patience with the word tolerance, patience and tolerance, because I struggle in those areas, even, clean and sober. I do have a sobriety date. It's 9/28/2011. And, I struggled for a long time here. And I had a lot of my old behaviors in recovery, as I did when I was out there for a while. And I was the guy, right? If you were going too slow on the road, I was up your ass trying to get you to go faster. And if you were up my ass, I was the guy who would lock up my brakes. I would be out of the car, in park, out of the car and in your face before you could even stop your car. I had no patience for nothing. I had no patience for myself. I've struggled with life my whole life. Before I ever picked up a drink or a drug, I believe that I was born with this, predisposed, and alcohol and drugs was just a symptom. I have a disease that centers in my mind, and it affects the way that I think and I feel all the time. All the time. As soon as my brain becomes conscious in the morning, I'm ripping myself off, telling me I'm not worth it, I can't do it, and it's not happening. And I have to practice patience with myself, because if I don't allow myself the time, because time takes time. I've heard that, and I like that because it does. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'm sure I'll say it many more times, is that I thank God that I didn't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happened. Unfortunately for me, and just for me, the miracle took almost 9 years. And you know what? That's okay. It's all right to be right where you are, right at this moment. There's a line in my big book, because when I first came here, this was the recovery lounge, and we welcomed all. And then it got changed to NA Coffee Lounge for, purposes of trying to promote the meeting and things like that. I was told that I was still welcome here, right? And so I identify as an alcoholic, but I am an addict at the same time. And I've realized that by coming here and listening to you people share your stories with me, let me be part of your life, that I'm an addict too, right? I like to refer to this because it was the day that it was like an epiphany. I've heard things, I've said things, I've heard things here for years. And all of a sudden, one day something might click. And all of a sudden I get to use that and apply that in my life. And my friend Billy had suggested, well, why don't you identify yourself as an addict? And I had to think about that because I wanted to be true to myself. I wanted to be true to you people. And, I looked in my medicine cabinet and I have so much hygiene stuff. Every time I'm at the store, I got to buy something because I'm running out. I got 7 things of baby wipes, 10 toilet papers, 4 toothpaste, 4 friggin'. That's the addictive behavior in me, more. If one's good, more is better, right? I've heard people speak of it, oh, I wish they had a pill to cure this. Yeah, that'd be great, but I'd want a dozen of them, Um, I get my cure, my medicine by coming here, by listening to others share, uh, by being patient, because like I don't always want to hear what people have to say. I don't always agree, nor do I need to. I don't always. But what I've learned, and I just heard this the other day, and it clicked, was that I need to be okay with people right where they are. You know, who am I to say where you need to be right now? Good thing nobody told me to be where I was supposed to be when I wasn't there, right? Telling me to get out of my head is like me taking a baseball bat to your legs and telling you to walk it off. Sometimes it's just not the reality. But when I come here, I get out of myself, and and that helps me. And so I hope that by me coming here, I can help somebody, because that's ultimately my responsibility for being around here for a couple of days, a couple of 24s, that like my purpose here is to give back the message of hope, the message that was given to me when I had no hope, right? And I came to learn that hang on, pain ends. Hope, hang on, pain ends, right? And it does. But you know what I've learned also, and it's okay, is that pain can come back. You know, I can be complacent, and I can be screwed up and be in a lot of pain, but I don't have to pick up a drink or a drug over it. I never realized that. When I was hurting, I needed to get out of the hurt. The only way that I knew how to get out of that hurt was to pick up, right? Because I didn't know there was a solution. I didn't know about, 12-step fellowship. I didn't know about 12-step program, and for me, the fellowship is huge. It's so important because I've been lonely my whole life. And I found out I went to a mountain retreat when I was 9 months sober. It was in Livingstone, Manor, New York. It was called Shalom Mountain. And I found out that weekend that I just wanted to be loved, right? And I was trying to fill that void, that hole in my soul with drugs and booze for so long. Because like, I also found out that weekend that I was a 10-year-old a boy abandoned by his mother. And like, I have a situation going on right now that I'm struggling with patience. And it's to do with an ex who I had a toxic relationship with. And now she has my son, who's 8 years old. And I have not been a part of that boy's life. And it's been tough. It's been sad. And the thing is, today I believe, and it's only because I'm clean and sober that like I believe this to be true for me, is that that boy will be better off if I'm in his life than I'm not in his life. I have a 30-year-old daughter who I walked away from because I knew in my active addiction that she was better off without me. I would have put a lot of pain and turmoil and chaos into her life. And I wouldn't have wanted to do it on purpose. It was the drugs and the booze that fucking had me by the balls. Like I didn't have a choice. Today I have choices. I have choice of freedom. Like I got up this morning, I walked 6.25 miles. Like I've sat in jail doing laps around the block, being told what time to go to bed, what time to eat, what time to piss, what time to shit, right? Today I do these things on my own accord. And if I can't have patience with others, because I don't know where they're at, I don't know where they've been, I don't know what they're going through. So who am I to judge? I know I can speak a good game sitting here on Zoom, right? But it's about the work that I do outside this meeting. And I apply the 12 steps to my life on a daily basis. I fall short all the time, but that's okay. I don't have to beat myself up over it. I don't have to, you know, uh, belittle myself. And I can still do that because, like I said earlier, I have a disease that centers in my mind. And that is a dangerous place to be alone. And so my biggest place that I practice patience, 3 places: on the road, at work, and in the grocery store. I don't know if you guys got Market Basket around there where you're at, but Market Basket's one of our big grocery stores. And it is always such a mob session And I'm usually quick in and out, and I'll be in the checkout line and the speedy line, 20 items or less. And I'm counting people's items. I'm worried if they've got more than 20 items. And you know what? It doesn't matter how many items they have. What matters is how am I doing? And when I don't say, I'll say like this: patience and tolerance, patience and tolerance. And you know what? They go through the line and I do my thing. And you know what's awesome too is when I'm struggling and I'm alone, I'll punch on Zoom. Zoom has saved my spirituality. It has brought me back to life at a level that I couldn't get just from going to live meetings, because you guys are here 24/7. I can tap in. It's like tapping into the source, right? The source of recovery for me. I get to tap in and I get to be reminded like what I'm trying to do, and like where we're all at in our lives, that we're all at a different place, but your struggles are your struggles. My struggles are my struggles. Your struggles might not be like a big struggle for me. Like my struggles might not be like a big struggle for you, but at the same time, my struggle affects me in my way, the same way that your struggle affects you in your way, no matter what the struggle may be, big or small. It doesn't matter. It's the little things that get me anyway. Really, it's the little things that set me off. I don't try to blow things out of proportion today. I went to breakfast with that woman I just spoke of, who has my 8-year-old son. My 8-year-old son, look at, I want to cry. My 8-year-old son and his brother, whose father overdosed and died a couple of years back, came over to my place last night, had some candy and hung out, and it was just amazing, and I have to practice patience there because I'm a 50-year-old man and I got an 8-year-old boy running around my place and his little 5-year-old brother. They're little terrors, but why wouldn't they be? He's got some of my blood, right? But I get to look at that woman that I had contempt for and hate for and disgust for because of the part that she played in our toxic relationship. But you people taught me how to see beyond that, right? And all I got to worry about is my part that I played in it. And I apologized to her yesterday morning at breakfast. It was just her and I. And we cried like a couple of babies for a long time. And it was such a healing process. It was so nourishing. Because you know what? I can see her the way you guys have taught me. Because I see my fellow sisters in this program, and I've heard their struggles. And so I get to see her in her struggles, even if she can't see them. I get to look through the physical being of her body and see inside her soul. And even though she doesn't know, because she's not in recovery, like where that pain is, why that pain's there, and how it manifests and comes out in the physical being. It's amazing. You guys are amazing. This whole fellowship is amazing, and the program of recovery is amazing. Because for me, right? For me, and I'll wrap it up with this. For me, I have to be like, if I'm going to be in a 12-step program, I'm going to think that doing the 12 steps would be beneficial, right? And so I've applied them to my life. And, I'll run through them quick and then I'll get off. Step 1, admitted that I was powerless, very powerless. And then it's a dash or a line, right? That my life had become unmanageable. And that line means to stop a thought, start a thought. It's almost like it's 2 sentences. My life has been unmanageable for a long time. Today it's manageable. Step 2, came to believe. I don't have to believe, but I've come to believe. Turn my will. Step 3, turn my will, right? My will. Because if I do my will, then I'm not doing God's will. And I guarantee God's will is so much better than my will for me, right? Step 4, fearless and moral inventory. I did that. I reached deep inside and I shared it with another. Step 5, and God. 6 and 7, humbly asked, because I try to practice humility today. And humility is just not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less, right? And shortcomings. I have a ton of shortcomings and character defects, but who am I to say which character defects are going to go and which are going to stay? Some have been beneficial to me, you know. 8 and 9, making a list and making amends. I have done that tenfold, and not has it only helped me, but and not in every case, but it's helped the people that I make the amends to. Quick example, I gave an amends to a girl that I tortured for years, 25 years ago, as a, you know, a young, fresh, up and coming alcoholic. And I abused physically, mentally, and spiritually abused that woman. And I'm not proud to say that. I'm disgusted when I say that, but I have to be truthful. And I reached out to her a couple of months back and, you know, made an amends. And she said, this is the first time in 25 years I'm not going to bed hating you. That felt good. How sick is that? That felt good. And then a day or two later, she came back to me and said, my son struggles with anger like you did. What did you do? And I was able to, you know, just share my experience with her. And it was nice. We're not like buddies today, but at the same time, I got to make that amends. So that's 8, 9, 10. I apologize when I'm wrong, and I promptly do it. And 11, I talk to God all day. And then 12, I try to bring the message back to the best that I can, to let people know, no matter how long you've been here, no matter where you're at, it's okay. You're doing okay. The only requirement is a desire. And the only thing that I have to do right today is not pick up a drink or a drug. And if I do that, I get to go to bed a howling success. Ow! That is it from me. Thank you.